Sidney Snail, a telling tale. This is the tale of Sidney Snail, who everybody said would fail. His future certainly looked bleak, for Sid was flabby, slow and weak. His ancestors, a motley brood, had finished up as Blackbird food. And all the other snails he knew thought Sid would end up that way too. But Sid was made of sterner stuff. He didn't crack when things got tough. For Sid was not an idle clod. He was a clever gastropod.
Well, hello there.
He read his books, and he found out some facts we all should know about. To stay alive and healthy too, these are the things that you should do. You should keep fit through exercise and live on green foods, not on pies. Then make sure that your day's routine will keep you sharp and bright and lean. And so Sid took to power walks with steep climbs up the cabbage stalks and visited the local gym to lose some weight and get in trim. He found it tough, but he was clear. He wouldn't quit, he'd persevere. He trained hard every single day and saw his flab just melt away. His diet was important too. He always found some veg to chew. He munched on green stuff all day long, which made him big and very strong. Cabbage, spinach, cauliflower gave him stamina and power. The iron in each healthy meal soon made his shell as hard as steel, and turned his slime, a gloopy goo, from liquid into sticky glue. So, bit by bit, young Sid got fit. His senses sharp, his muscles toned, his mind alert, his body honed. No longer was he weak and frail, he'd now become a super snail. And when each night he went to bed, stuck firmly to the potting shed, he pulled his head inside his dome and slept secure in his safe home. The blackbird rises with the sun, as each new dawn has just begun, and his first question, come what may, is what will breakfast be today? Then, one fine morning, as he flew across Sid's garden, damp with dew, he spotted Sid still fast asleep beside the gardener's compost heap. He hung there on the old shed wall and hadn't tried to hide at all. Unable to believe his eyes, the bird swooped down to claim his prize. Now blackbirds have a sturdy beak, as sharp as needles, hard as teak. With such a weapon, he'd no doubt he'd quickly pluck young Sidney out. But he was in for quite a shock. Sid's slime had set as hard as rock. He tried to prise him off the wood, but all his efforts did no good. It mattered not how hard he pecked, his mighty beak had no effect. And so he changed his beak attack to concentrate on Sid's round back. He'd smash the snail into a pulp and swallow him in one big gulp. The blackbird hammered, stabbed and poked, but clever Sid was not provoked. He just kept still and held on tight, quite sure that he could win the fight. He put his trust in his hard shell that he had fortified so well. He knew that he'd be safe inside, no matter what the blackbird tried. And so it proved. Despite the blackbird's fierce intent, Sid's shell was left without a dent. Before too long, the bird grew weak from all his efforts with his beak. His head was aching from the strain, his bill was bent and causing pain. And so he quickly flew away to try and find some weaker prey. Soon after he had gone, young Sid came out from underneath his lid and sauntered off without a scratch to breakfast in the cabbage patch. No weakling now, quite plain to see, his exploits soon were legendary. The other snails all strove to be as brave and strong and fit as he. The moral of this tale is clear for all young snails who choose to hear. If you would live beyond your teens, take exercise and eat your greens.